Hey there, welcome. Thanks for joining me. So today we're going to be making some boho style room decor with a splash of coral color in it. So for our first home decor, you're going to need some yarn and something that's, a cardboard or piece of paper that's thick enough for you to wrap your yarn around. So just go ahead and wrap your yarn around as many times as you like. I typically go for 10 to 12 times. Again, just depending on how thick you want each one of your tassels to be. Then you grab another piece of yarn and insert it into where your cardboard's at and the yarn meet. Go ahead and insert it in there and tie it at the top of what's going to be your tassel. I usually double knot it. Now you don't have to do this next knot because we're not going to hang it from anywhere. We're actually going to glue it onto something. So just make sure to leave those pieces of yarn long, but you don't have to make that little knot. Then go ahead and cut it at the opposite side, and your yarn will easily come off of your whatever cardboard or what you're using to wrap it around. Go ahead and trim everything up. Make sure it's all nice and even. Grab another piece of a yarn and then go ahead and make what I call the head of the tassel. Not sure if that's really what it's called, but that's typically what I say. Just go ahead and wrap around that extra yarn as many times as you like, and then just knot it at what's going to be the back of your tassel. Again, trim any of the longer pieces of tassel if you like from that yarn, and continue to make more tassels. Now, I made 30 tassels for this project. You could easily make more if you like. Again, just depending on how many you want to add to your decor. So next, once you're done with making all those tassels, go ahead and grab as many placemats as you like. I'm going to use 2 placemats for this project. Using a box cutter, find the opening or where the end is at of your placemat, and then just unravel it. Cut off that little piece. It's kind of like fishing thread is what's basically sewn on here. It's a clear fishing thread type style. And once you cut the beginning, it's just going to easily pull off. So just go ahead and do that. Once you're all completely done unraveling your placemat, remove all of the thread from there. And again, it's easy to do. Just kind of grab a piece of it and just start pulling it off, and it'll easily come off. Then once you're done with that, go ahead and start gluing it onto your full placemat, the one that you didn't unravel. And just start where the other one ends. And then go ahead and start hot gluing it to your placemat. And this, all I'm doing is using hot glue. Now I'm going to show you 2 different options, and I'm also going to link a tutorial that I did, one of my very first tutorials actually, of me making a DIY rug using these placemats. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to leave that link somewhere on the video, or if not, down below, for you guys to review if you want to make this same style but into a rug, because with the rug you would use more permanent glue. But for this project, since it's going to be a wall hanging for my purposes, I'm just using my hot glue gun. Again, just adding a roll of hot glue to the end of your placemat, just right at the top, and then go ahead and press onto the placemat, your yarn. I will call it my yarn, which is the unraveled placemat. So just go ahead and continue this process. And it didn't take too long. I want to say real time, it took me about 40 minutes to complete this from start to finish, including the tassels. The tassels is what took the longest. So just go ahead and continue adding that thread to the end of your placemat. Now, when you get to that one end, or where you began, go ahead and glue a little bit over, and then start gluing it kind of upwards to continue the same process. And again, just keep adding hot glue. And if you don't feel comfortable, even if it's going to be a wall hanging and you want to add some more permanent glue, go ahead and do so. And you can add some E6000 or Fix-All glue. And this is a thread that I'm talking to you about. I thought I had unraveled all of it, but basically you just pull it out and it easily comes off. So once you're done with one piece of the thread, just go ahead and grab your other one and glue it overlapping so you can make sure that it has a nice even seam, and then continue gluing. Now, when you're gluing this, your unraveled placemat to your placemat, make sure it's the back side that you're gluing it to. Because if you're not, when you flip it over, you're going to see the ends of the seams and what have you. So make sure that you start gluing your unraveled placemat to the back of your complete placemat. So go ahead and just continue doing that. And this way, when you glue it, and you flip it over to the right side up, you're going to see just endless circle. You won't see where any of them start or end. Besides the one at the very end, you'll see a little bit of it, but not much. So just go ahead and continue gluing. Once you get to the end, I want to show you how you can finish it so it won't look so odd or just like all of a sudden stop. So what I did was basically glue it all the way to the end until I completely finished the placemat. Now, once you allow that to dry, go ahead and get that very point, add a little bit of glue from one corner up, like in an angle, then grab something and flip that over. So won't be just one little thing. It's kind of gradually ending. So once you've allowed everything to dry, go ahead and grab all your tassels. Now here's where you start kind of figuring out how many you want or don't want. Again, depending on how many placemats you're going to use to make this decor is how many tassels you're going to want to make. So this one, again, I used 2 placemats and I used about 30 to 35 tassels in total. What I'm doing is grabbing 4 tassels and basically making a T. Trying to put one at every end just to make make it easier for me to add the rest of the remaining tassels. And this way you won't even have to really measure out where each tassel's at unless you want them exactly apart, evenly apart, spread apart. But I just made that 4 tassels on either end to make it like a T form. And now once I'm done doing that, all I did was just kind of evenly place even as I possibly can. Place all my tassels around to make sure I like where they're at, how many I'm adding. And then it's easier for me to count how many I'm placing in between each of my glue tassels already. So again, just kind of dividing it to see how many I was going to need or how many I actually wanted inside or to add onto my decor. So this is basically preference to taste, depending on, again, how many you want to add or what you want, kind of style you want to go for. So I just kept adding, moving them around, kind of evenly spreading them out just to make sure that I could add the same amount to each section of my decor. You can even add different color tassels. The yarn at Dollar Tree, there's so many of them. I just so happen to have this one, which I did purchase at Dollar Tree as well. But they typically have all different colors, just depending on which one you go to and how much luck you have to find the exact color you want. But just go ahead and continue adding your tassels. And what I ended up doing was adding 7 tassels in between each one of my already glued tassels, if that makes sense. And I'll show you right here. So these are the glued ones, and I'm going to add one in the middle. And here's another one. I'm adding one in the middle. So I'm just doing little sections. And then I'm going to add another one. And here's another one in between those 2. So that's how I'm going to continue doing it throughout until I finish. So there's 2 glued ones already. Then I'm going to add another tassel in between the 2 glued ones. And just grab something so you can press on them. Now I'm going to add a tassel in between those 2 glued ones. And that's how you can evenly, at least even as possible, to separate them. Now between those 2, I'm going to add another one. And you just continue adding in between two glue tassels, another tassel until you're completely satisfied with the amount you've added. And I did that to all the tassels. Again, they're already glued, so you just go ahead and grab another tassel where the last one is glued in the first one, and then just go ahead and add it there. And then right in the middle. And I did want to let you guys know, if you decide to make this into a rug, it does last a very long time. I made mine last year when I started my YouTube channel, and I left it out in my backyard porch patio area for the entire summer. And I live in Florida, so it's hot basically all year round. And I did add some of that kitchen liner so it wouldn't slip and slide, but they also have the rug non-slip fabric at Dollar Tree as well, but that's what I used for mine. So go ahead and add that with some Fix-All glue or E6000 if you decide to make this into a rug. But I just wanted to let you know that it does last and it won't unravel. I'm actually, once I was done with this one, I actually do want to make one with tassels around it. And if I do make one, it's going to be pretty big. So if you are interested in seeing how big and what style I'm going to make it, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to make a quick tutorial on it, even if I add it on to another tutorial. But yeah, I really love this combination. So I'm hoping once I can go out, I can find some more of the same color yarn so I can make enough tassels to make a pretty nice size area rug using these placemats. But all I did was add a hook so I can hang mine, because again, I'm going to use it as a wall decor. And all I'm doing is adding some E6000 throughout my entire piece. And I'm doing this because since I'm going to use it as a wall decor, I didn't want it to be flimsy. It's not too flimsy, but I think it will bend after a while. So I wanted something to place in the back, which I'm going to use cardboard in order for it to stay nice and firm and even on my wall. And just go ahead and cut out a circle. You can measure out your decor or just cut out, you know, I kind of eyeball it, but just go ahead and cut out a piece of cardboard and glue it to the back, and there you have it. So our second DIY, just go ahead and get one of these Hawaiian grass skirts. And I believe they're the table skirts. And go ahead and just kind of straighten everything out. Leave it folded. It comes folded in 4. So just unfold it and make sure it's in half. Grab whatever you have to make a straight cut. And I just used this L-shaped ruler from Dollar Tree as well. And I just went ahead and cut it down. And I just cut it in little sections. And since I'm going to use the rest of this skirt for another project, I'm just adding rubber bands to the little sections so it won't tangle up on me or anything like that. So just go ahead and cut sections and just add a little rubber band to the top. Now this entire project, I'm going to make it 6 inches. The longest piece is going to be 6 inches, but you'll see that I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller as I go. But just to give you a rough idea. So just go ahead and continue cutting little sections and rubber banding those pieces of sections so you can use for another project. And here's where I angled it down. Again, just doing the same thing. And I didn't cut it exact. I didn't cut it right to the ruler also, because I wanted enough to where I could trim it once I'm done. So just go ahead and do that. Make sure all of it's kind of even. And any extra pieces of the grass that are too long, go ahead and trim those off. Now, once you're done with that, what you're going to do is basically pull all of these pieces down. And you're going to make them get as close together as possible. You can use a skirt that you did already cut and add more onto this project if you like, because the jute twine that comes with the skirt is what I'm using to hang it up. And you'll see that there's quite a bit extra of the jute twine once you tighten, pull all this grass together. So you could make this leaf a lot larger if you like, but I like the size that it was. So just go ahead and grab the last 3 of the middle pieces where you fold it, and you're not going to glue those together. You're just going to leave that little piece. Just hold it in your hand or place something over it so you won't glue that section. And that's basically going to be the center bottom of your leaf, or if you want to call it like a feather style, I call it a leaf. So just go ahead and hold, I'm holding it in my hand, and then open it up, and then you're going to start gluing this together. So you're going to glue both half pieces together. So just add a strip of glue, making sure that you're adding the top piece of this to the bottom piece evenly, because you want it to be nice and even. So just do little sections and press firmly down, and just continue doing this until you completely glue this entire skirt together. How many of you have used this glue gun? It's like a pen glue gun. I just purchased it, and to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm using it wrong or what, but I just can't get comfortable with it. But I tried to use it for all these projects just to see if I could and if I liked it. I had heard a lot of good reviews on it, but I don't know. Again, I don't know if I'm using it wrong or what. So once you've glued the entire skirt together in half, go ahead and just split it up. So you're just going to split it right down the middle. And then once you split that hay down the middle, go ahead and just press firmly on it so it can stay nice and flat. And there you have it. Basically, we're almost done. Can you believe it? How easy was this to make? And I've seen these on all kinds of websites, different stores, and different Pinterest pictures. And wow, it was so easy to make. I just can't believe it. So once I was done, I went ahead and got a skewer stick, and I'm adding glue again to that middle part. And then I'm going to add the skewer stick. Now this is going to be the back of your leaf. And I added that just to make sure it stayed nice and firm, and that way my feather can stay in shape. I also, after I made this, someone told me that I maybe should have sprayed hairspray to the back of this so it could stay more in the same shape that it should be. So I'll let you know if it does work or not, if it makes a difference or not if you add hairspray. But go ahead and set that aside, and you're done with that one. So our third and final project, you're going to use this brown wrapping paper, or it's usually in the mailing package paper. So this is what I'm going to use. And I just cut out a square. You can cut out a square the size you want. Mine's a 12 by 12. Now all I'm simply going to do is divide that in half in an angle to make a triangle, just like this. And then you're going to cut that triangle, or cut the square into 2 triangles. Once you've cut that one triangle, basically you can make 2 of these palm leaves with 1 square. You can use a ruler and just start making lines to accordion lines. That way you can make an accordion bend or fold with this triangle, but I kind of just eyeballed it. So I just folded the bottom part, or the longest part of my triangle, then flipped it over and folded it again to make that accordion style fold. And I continued doing this until I was completely done folding my entire triangle. And again, you can make these palm leaves as long, as big as you like, just depending on where you want to place them. Mine, the longest, or the biggest one that I made was, once it was folded, was an 8-inch leaf. And you'll see them at the end when I show you how it all looks together. So just continue folding your triangle accordion style, folding it one way, flipping it the opposite way, and then folding it again, and continue doing this. Once you're completely done folding the entire triangle, what you're going to do is fold it in half, making sure that you're folding the two longest pieces are going to be inwards, just like this. And you go ahead and fold it and make sure it's all even, and then press firmly down to make that point. Once you folded it, go ahead and add double-sided sticky tape, or I'm using hot glue, and then I'm going to fold it again right in the middle to attach both pieces together. Once you've attached it, basically, there's your palm leaf. Now I'm going to use a skewer stick, and this one is an 18-inch. It's basically one of the longer ones that were at Dollar Tree, and I cut it in half, adding some hot glue to the back of my palm leaf, and just gluing that stick to there. Now I left my sticks the natural color, but you can paint them. You can wrap them with some floral tape if you want it green. And there you go. There's your palm leaf. Now I wanted a different color of my palm leaf. So I'm going to show you how I did it with these filing folders. And these are the larger ones. They come 6 in a pack. Now all I did was cut where you write the label at, just to make an even square. This one was actually a lot easier to cut out because, again, all you have to do is just cut that one section off to even it out. And then you just place it in an angle and cut, again, a triangle. So you can make 2 of them with this one folder and start folding accordion style. And take your time. This one is actually a lot thicker, this paper, than the wrapping paper because it's a folder. So it looks, basically, it holds its shape a lot better. So you can make this a lot bigger, and you won't have to worry about it folding or bending too much. So go ahead and continue folding, again, accordion style. Once you're done folding it and gluing it like I showed you with the previous one, I went ahead and left this skewer stick the length that it came with. Now the only difference here is I'm actually cutting down just about 2 inches to 3 inches from the top where I folded each one of these accordion folds. And then I spread it out to make a little different kind of palm leaf tree. I'm sorry, a palm leaf. And this is the way my decor looks hanging or as a rug. This is the leaf. I call this my tropical leaf. And here are the palm leaves as well. And you can place these palm leaves individually by themselves in a vase, or you can add them to your decor that you already have to give it that finished look. And I love how all 3 of these projects look perfect together. Let me know which one's your favorite, or are you going to make all 3 of them? I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. Until next time, you guys stay safe, stay busy, and stay blessed. Bye.